we have a moment for the wilderness. We had our confirmation wilderness trip that happened in late July, and so we have our students who have prepared some reflections on how the wilderness impacted them this year. So would you guys please come forward?
A week in the wilderness made a big impact on us. Getting away from all the things at home was the first step, which is difficult at first. But by the end, we could see that there are more important things than a phone. Being separated from society made it difficult. It made a big impact on us. It gave us time to think.
Wilderness means being in a place that is so peaceful, huge trees in every direction, 5 days of wilderness, food cooked from a homemade fire, sleeping in a tent. The food was surprisingly good. Actually, it was a difficult trip, challenging, hard. Every day, several times a day, there was something that was surprising.
It was surprisingly hard and more challenging than we expected. It's hard to imagine how difficult carrying all your food and all your supplies for a week is going to be, and canoeing and setting up camp. It makes you feel very accomplished at the end, but most of all, it renewed our sense of gratitude and for all the things that we have to do here.
Being in the wilderness takes quite a bit of mental strength, not just physical strength. We barely saw other people all week long, too. One day, we spent 3 hours alone with God out on a rock. It was definitely odd spending time alone, not knowing just how long that time alone was going to feel, but I do think it allowed us to connect with God, which was the main goal of the trip.
Looking back, that time alone at the rocks without distraction is really unique, just being able to look out onto the water and at the trees and think and pray. It might not be a surprise that we learned about God on this trip. What really made an impact was that we prayed a lot on this trip, and it really changed how we thought about the world and about God.
We became closer to one another and to God, learning about God and beginning to believe in God more than before. We were surprised how many ways there were to communicate with God, that God is everywhere. Whether it's a long paddle or a long portage, God was there every step and every paddle throughout the day.
God helped us get through it, the difficulty, the challenge, the hardship, but God was also there when the hard time came to an end. With God, with a good dinner and rest. Being alone with God was an experience of connection with God and all the different ways of connecting with God. We are very thankful for this trip and the people who went on it and the ability to notice God in nature and all of creation. Thank you.